This last week, we've got a load of new light novel anime adaptation announcements out of Kadokawa's Light Novel Expo, but no announcement was as surprising as a second season for The Devil is a Part-Timer, originally releasing in 2013. It was a fun show, but after 8 years, we'd all kind of given up on it. So here's the question: could other long-awaited sequels happen after all? More than ever, anything can happen in today's anime industry. We can sometimes get a bit obsessed with the idea that an anime is just there for promotion's sake. That anime just exists to sell copies of the manga and light novel. And that is a factor, but it's not the only one. The Devil is a Part-Timer light novel finished last year after all. But nowadays, anime is more profitable than ever before, and it's the large companies like Kadokawa who invest in anime that get the most out of it. And they haven't limited themselves to adaptations of their own properties, having also funded original anime like High School Fleet, Classroom Crisis, and the Napping Princess film. Sure, they also publish tie-in manga and light novel versions, but these are often short-lived and hardly a reason to invest in the show as a whole. That's because anime can exist on its own, or rather be the center point for a media mix, prompting merchandise, mobile games, collaborations, and of course, the anime itself, which makes a lot of money from being sold to overseas streaming services. Of course, not everything can get away with this. There's no point investing in a sequel for something that never had an audience in the first place, for instance. Likewise, if the anime had a very specific aesthetic, they need to keep in mind that they probably can't get back those original staff members. Devil is a Part-Timer, for instance, is a very different style. And perhaps the most important point is that there needs to be a producer that cares. Kadokawa has a load of light novels, and Part-Timer isn't necessarily going to be on their radar for a must-have season 2. So in this case, it had the help of a man who got it made in the first place, Takayuki Nagatani, a producer at the company Infinite. His company helps anime studios create original projects, but he also receives plenty of offers from publishers to help get adaptations of their light novels and manga created. However, as an otaku himself, he'll only work on things that he likes. Thus, how Part-Timer got created, and so he must have liked it a lot if it's getting a second season. And in the end, that kind of seems to be how it works for a lot of these long-lost seasons. Someone behind the scenes needs to really care. Of course, the timing needs to match up, they need to find an animation team, and they need to create a plan for getting their money back. But the starting point is usually a producer. So when it comes to the question of what else could get a season 2, I have to reiterate my point from before. Anything could. It does help that the Part-Timer light novel only just ended, so it's close enough to still be in the conversation, but even then, Naoki Urasawa's Pluto is getting an anime adaptation, and that ended over a decade ago. As long as there are people that still care, anything is possible.